Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Oh my goodness, let's get some music going. We got the next song coming on. Woo, so excited. Well, here I am coming to you from Playa Mujeres, Mexico. We are celebrating our wedding anniversary, and I'm super excited to be here with you guys this afternoon. My name's Pam Higgs, and I am honored to be able to, and humbled to come before you guys and just share. This is week 3. Sharing this amazing book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. And really, I want to talk to you guys about week 3. Let me turn this. I didn't realize this TV was on until I started talking. One sec. Let me see if I can turn it off. Probably not. Okay, we're not going to mess with it. We're just going to leave it go. Okay, so some of you have turned in homework and some of you have not. And so I'm going to tell you ahead of time what your homework is for this week. And it is, give me an update on what this book has done for you in the steps that we've outlined, the way you can set your business up, dividing your accounts. After each chapter, Remit gives us a opportunity to have homework in there. I gave you some additional type homework for you as well. But tell me like how you have your account set up, what your credit score is, and there's no shame in the game. We've talked about that before. Want to be able to, just really, just for this to be an educational process. So we said we were going to start about page 1. We were past 120 and go about 100 pages since we made it a 4-week series, which was probably a little bit too short, but I think 4 weeks of getting your finances in order, getting your credit cards figured out, it takes work, but where we invest our time is where we get the best result, right? And so he talks about conscious spending. So what do you value? There's power in saying no to the things we don't care about, which gives you more power to say yes to the things that you do care about. And so on page 131, he talks about, he's got this great chart there right here, and he talks about cheap people versus conscious spenders. You can't be so wrapped up about, oh my gosh, I can't spend money. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Oh my God, right? We've got to be about, well, we don't have to be, but I recommend to live a full life and to be the best you that you can be. He says cheap people care about the cost of something. Conscious spenders care about the value of something. Cheap people try to get the lowest price on everything. Conscious spenders try to get the lowest price on most things, but are willing to spend extravagantly on the items that they really care about. Cheap people's cheapness affects those around them. Conscious spenders, frugality affects only them. And it just goes on and on. Cheap people think short-term and conscious people, spenders, think long-term. So read that page. I'm really giving you a crash course in what he shares here. And I really want you to read the book. And some of it you can scan through. Some of it, depending on where you are in your money journey, you already have things really figured out in that process. So I'm excited to share with you. He says, the more dollars you make, the more satisfied you are with your life. Does money give you happiness? No, but it takes stress off of your life. You can give how you want to give. You travel how you want to travel. We're in VIP here in this resort, all-inclusive resort, the Excellence. Look it up. It's amazing. So how do you want to travel? Who do you want to share it with? And what do you most importantly too is what do you want your future to look like? But we don't want you to be so cheap with your finances and your money that you don't live a life, okay? And he gives some situations about that too. No more spending treadmill. We live in a culture, we talked about this on week 1, we live in a culture that recognizes and rewards spending, but then if you feel guilty about it, that's not a healthy vibe about your money. Think your daily choices, making long-term goals, okay? So what do you really want in the long-term down the road? And again, being prepared for retirement. As self-employed people, and if your husband's self-employed, this can really be a challenging opportunity for you with your, with your future. Don't be in the prison of frugality that you're so cheap you don't want to spend money on anything. You go to the bathroom, or your husband goes to the bathroom, or your boyfriend when the bill comes. Not a good thing, right? So do your life. Next, we want to talk about, the ways to cut and examine. So this was really cool. I've learned so much from this book. He talks about ways to cut and examine subscriptions. So how much are you spending on your TV? Guys, this is key. And this is a really cool thing to have as an opportunity to check it out. These are really top tips for you to do. And that is, if you have DirecTV or a service for your cable or whatever, check it out. I called DirecTV a few months ago. I don't care for them, but it's what we have where we live, and in one of our houses. And so I called them, and what happens is after a period of time, when you fall out of contract, your prices go up. And I looked at the bill one day, which is on auto pay. And when it's on auto pay, you have a tendency to maybe not look at it. I purposely don't really like to get non-paper bills because I need to see it come through my house so that I can review it. And I'm like, why is our bill so high? I was able to cut the bill in half and get more services. And I didn't go under contract because our house is for sale. I didn't want to be under contract that when we moved, we were in a situation where we had to keep them, right? So you could also do DirecTV a la carte. You know, sometimes they'll put movie channels on there for 3 months and then they charge you for them. So see what you're paying, okay? How much are you paying for your phone bill? You have unlimited for your phone bill? Because are you getting unnecessary charges because of data, or your kids on your bill because of data? Netflix, all of these subscriptions, Hulu, Netflix, it all can add up. And in some cases, it's cheaper than having local TV. I know my kids do this, and they just have, Apple TV with internet. And so you may not have local channels for that. But there's a thing that Joey had connected called Pluto. And that has a lot of local and like CBS and just like all the morning shows. I might turn it on sometimes in the morning. So check that out. So look at your bills, really important. Set reminders for your bills. So I bank at PNC, and you can do your bill pay. So things are automatically paid. Have your credit cards paid off every month so you're not accruing interest if that is your opportunity. If you do have credit card debt, pay the smallest credit card off first, regardless of the interest. So then you have progression. But really, start holding more appointments in your business so that you can jack that down really quickly, okay? What 2 days a month or 1 time a week can you dedicate to your finances, looking at things? Put your bills in one spot, and maybe on the 1st and the 15th, you look at everything, or the 16th and the 30th, depending on when you get paid. I have been a believer that Sunday nights in Mary Kay or Sunday afternoons is a time where you inspect what you expect in your business. When we had people paying by check, a lot of the times, we did our bank deposits, wrote them out, and then took them to the bank the next day. We don't do that now. So we don't sometimes give it as much as attention as we might want to. So with that being said, it's really important to look at what your weekly sales were, bring all your sales from that week, whether it be Venmo, ProPay, whatever you're using, into one account, your separate, not your personal household account, but a separate account. It's a personal account. It does not need to be a business account. It can be. I have a business account, but I have an LLC for my business. When you're a director and your business is, you're driving a car, etc., you could talk to your tax accountant. And I've invited my tax accountant that I really, really like a lot. He does a lot of Mary Kay. He knows people, nationals, directors, consultants. He really knows his stuff. So I've invited him to see if he could be on our live next week. And maybe we'll even just record something so you guys could watch it as well. Home buying. Do you want to be a homeowner one day? Do you want to move out of the house that you're in and buy a different house? So the question with that being said is, can you afford it? Okay, you can't afford not to know. So I've had people say, well, I can't afford that. I can't afford, like, why are you painting? Because I can't afford to get somebody to paint it. Well, how much does it cost to get somebody to paint it? I don't know. So how do you know you can't afford it? So we were always taught to do what you're good at and pay other people to do what you're not as good at, because time is money, especially in this business, unless it's something that you love and you're passionate about. If you're working full time, you're working your Mary Kay business, you're a wife, you're a mom, Trust me, I've been there. And, you know, your time's really valuable. So make sure that you're delegating to other people things that don't need you to do them. Okay, because you can be making $30, $40, $50, $100 an hour working your business and paying somebody else minimum wage to, you know, upwards to do virtual work or in-house work for you. So go on to Zillow, Realtor.com, one of those apps, and look at what type of house, how much is it going to cost, where do you want to live, and if you want to buy a house in 5 years, then start saving $1,000 a month. Unless you're military, you need a substantial down payment. Now, in some, it's important maybe talk to a realtor in your area, because in some states, they have things for first-time home buyers that you don't have to have this huge down payment. So check it out so you know where your target is and that you can work towards that target, okay? He talks about mint.com, which is an automated calling sync with your credit cards and your banks to customize your spending. I haven't looked this up yet. I did these notes on our way here on Sunday. I was reading my parts of the book, and so I'm going to check that out myself. Mint.com. Another thing on page 148, he talks about youneedabudget.com. Now, he is a guy that says, doesn't like the word budget, but it has the tools there that can help you figure out your financings. And so he abbreviates that as YNAB, I believe, later and throughout the book. Okay. Another one is my FICA credit score. He just thinks it's more convenient. It is one you pay for, but you can also go to Credit Karma. But you want to at least once a year print off, look at it thoroughly, because I had a medical bill on my, and I didn't even know it one time on my credit report, and it was not a legit thing. So you can get those things removed. It's just really important to keep it clean. He talks about an 80-20 analysis. So it's called you can Google this, conduct a Pareto analysis, Pareto analysis. Call the credit card company to lower your rate if you have a current balance on your credit card, okay? And on page 40 are the details for that. Don't go too overboard on cutting your spending. So he talks about ways to cut, ways to examine. That's the subject that we're on right now. So what are some ways that you could do that makes sense, okay? You know, I love to get my nails done because I like to look finished and polished. We're in an image business. So it's important. It's not time to go, okay, I'm not going to color my hair. And you've got this crazy gray hair, but you're in the image business, and it's important to you how you look. So that might not be something that you want to necessarily cut out. You see what I mean? But going in, this was free, included in our stay, but going in, you know, maybe you cut back on your Starbucks a little bit, or something that you don't have to have, you know what I'm saying? So really evaluate that. Cutting back, give it time. He gives scenarios about people who cut so far back, they had no life. And it's so important that you do have a life. I've always said I've enjoyed the journey in this business with my kids, with my family. I have thoroughly enjoyed the journey. So look into auto withdrawal right away. Don't wait on these things. These are the basic things. And so I'd like to, you know, whether we do it next week or even after this, or I just make a video that just kind of goes through just the easy stuff that this book maps out for you, and being in business, being self-employed, all of this, that it allows you to really to just get ahead of the game. So whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, or beyond, the sooner you start, the better. So have a separate bank account for just spending with a debit card is one way to really cut back. So let's say you're spending. Now think about this too. When all your bills, if you auto pay your bills and you know whatever's left in that account afterwards, that's your spending. And from that is what you're going to live on. And make your auto withdrawals. And you could look into, who do I use? Vanguard. And I'm talking to somebody there too, to see if they could be a guest on one of our times as well, because They're a very reasonable bank. It's where I have my retirement account and investments. And so, check that out and just get it started. If it's $50 a week, $200 a month, whatever it is. And I realize that there's some situations that you just don't have enough money left over, but you can't wait for money to be left over, because when the money's taken out, you really, really, really don't miss that there. So front load your work now. On page 155, they talk about that, and you'll make money while you sleep, okay? Make more money, which is what we get to do in this business, investing time and using your time wisely. Let's see. Tell your bank, oh yes, this is a great idea. So set up a separate bank account where just your spending, let's say your spending is X amount of dollars a month, and then tell your bank, which you can do this, I don't want to be able to take money out. I don't want overcharges. If my money's not in there, I don't want overcharges. I don't want overdraft. I want it to just not be usable, so that when it's done, okay? Advanced Personal Finances, you can visit on his website to go even a step further. But we really want, by now in this process of week 3 and into next week, you want to be able to know that all these things are done. You have a separate account if you didn't have one for your business. You have a separate savings account. You've got a high interest checking account, etc. And you're starting to auto withdraw money every week, every other week, once a month for your future. Okay, so you have savings that is going to go for long-term savings. It might be college funds, and that's what I want our tax account to come on and talk to you about. What are the current accounts? There are college fund accounts. There, of course, are your different types of retirement accounts, and then there's also ways that you can shelter your money as well, defer some of it tax-free for your children in different ways. Okay, so think about just the ways that you're going to want to spend your money, what's really important to you, where you can cut back. And again, this is taking time to really examine it. Saving money while you're sleeping. And that's what we get to do, because we get to create in our business multiple streams of making money through selling the product, through sharing the opportunity, through earning a car. Maybe you do cash or you earn a car. There's a lot of different ways that you can multiply yourself, and that's what you want to do. And so you may have a husband who also diversifies and has money as well. And maybe you're new to the game and this is new to you, but again, by now we're taking steps that really make a difference. So saving while you're sleeping, connecting your accounts. So you can transfer money automatically. You can have Vanguard, for instance, automatically withdraw money. I don't bank at Vanguard. I don't even know Vanguard has banks that I could drive up to. So I'm not going to go and try to take that money out. So they can really help you with how you want to invest your money. And he goes later into, but again, that's so far over a lot of people's heads, because you're just now setting your accounts up, or you're thinking about setting your accounts up. So that there's lots of ways that, he talks about when you're younger, the more risk you can take. And as you get older, you may want to take less risk on your money that you've invested, so you can make more money. But when you're younger, you can afford to take more risks on that. Okay, so connecting your accounts, it can be, again, from different banks, the same bank, probably better to be from different banks. You want to make your money flow. I talk about energy flowing in your life, and just really being of good energy, but just getting that harmony, that flow of whatever you're doing with your life, that you've got good energy about it. You get your schedule, your finances, you get that all in a rhythm and a flow. Okay. I talked about reviewing your credit card bill. And then chapter 6 talks about the myth of financial expertise, and really that you don't need to pay for a financial expert. He talks about how a lot of times there's hidden fees, and they're not going to necessarily know if something's gone awry. You may not know about it, but what the safer companies are, that you don't have to spend your money, what's smart, what's not smart. And I always say too, don't take the advice from somebody that you wouldn't trade places with. So be really careful, because some people will go, don't do it, or how can you afford to save money? You can't even blah, blah, blah. Guys, really, we cannot afford to not save money. Would you agree? So automatically investing your money is what I'm talking about. And chapter 7 talks about investing isn't only for rich people. And that's page 213. Automatically investing, the younger you are, the higher risks you can take. So we're going to go to, let's see really quick, read a little bit of what's here. So when you're figuring out your spending, you're figuring out your fixed costs, your rent, your utilities, your debt, etc. That's 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. So after you take out taxes, if you're self-employed, etc. And then investments is 10% for your Roth IRA, savings goals, vacation, gifts, house payment, emergency funds is 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%. Guilt-free spending is 20 to 35%. This is dining out, drinking, movies, clothing, shoes. If you tithe, that would be a 10% out of there as well. And I hope you do. So you've got all of those, and it's a worksheet here. That's page 140, 141. And then we move on to 174 has common invisible scripts for automation. When it comes to automation, it sounds really good, yet almost none of us do it, okay? I do it, and I do love it, and I have saved money very handsomely for having it automatically withdrawn. And honestly, that is the way to do it, okay? So, and some people say, it feels like I have more control when I know I can invest when the market is down. Don't wait for that. It's so important, to be honest, that you actually invested more than anything else. You're going to feel so good about yourself. I only have a little money to start with. It doesn't seem worth it. Start now and build it as a habit that it's coming out. Then you can increase it. Again, moving up into a leadership position in our company, earning that car, helping grow other leaders, that's going to multiply your income and grow so you can invest more, but you don't wait till you get there to do it. Okay, we don't want to be those people. You know, again, this is also part of let people do what they're good at, and you do what you're good at. Some people say they don't know how. This is why we're doing this course, because we want to learn how, and we're learning together. So get through this information, highlight what's really good in here for you to have an opportunity to really say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And again, I don't care if it's $100 a month. I think it's just so important that we do it. Okay. So to get more prescriptive about your spending, recommend using a piece of software called youneedabudget.com, YNAB. So write that down. That's really important. He also has in here, and I thought I wrote that down. Maybe I just highlighted. Okay. There's a couple websites that he recommended. One is for getting rid of the hundreds, and I didn't know this existed. You know how you can get off the do not call list, but you get calls anyway? But you can get off the magazine list, and you can get off the credit card solicitation that comes every day in your mailbox, right? And so let me see if I have that here, because I remember reading it. Oh, here it is. Okay. Catalogchoice.org. Look at my notes here. OMG. I was so thrilled to learn this. Okay. Use myfica.com to get your credit score and report each year. You could do it for free, but this is more convenient, he says, for him. To run calculations on your investment scenarios, use bankrate.com, and then unwanted catalogs, catalogchoice.org, and I'm trying to find the one for the credit cards. Okay, here it is. Optoutprescreen.com. Optoutprescreen.com. Okay, and the service called Catalog Choice to keep from getting unwanted catalogs in the mail. Boom! Is that good stuff? Guys, I gave you so much great information today. Okay, I am so excited that I've been able to be with you, set up your payments automatically, and really just get things together and line it up. So this is a review week. We do want you to go and finish out the book. He talks about how to get a good deal on a car, etc. in the last little bit here. And again, you have lots of green pages that are there. Skim through it. And on page 243, he says the rule of 72 is a fast trick, so you can do a figure on how long it will take to double your money. Divide the number 72 by the return rate you're getting and you'll have the number of years you must invest in order to double your money. How cool is that, right? For the math geeks, here's an equation, 72 divided by the return rate. That's on page 243. Check that out. Do you want to double your money? Do you want to triple your money? If you know how and you know what the target is and how long it's going to take to get there, don't you think you'd be more apt to do it? Yes. Okay. So that is what I have for you today, my friends. And I am excited about what you're doing. I'm excited about what's happening. And I want you to send your homework to Pam Higgs, mk@gmail.com. And that is, where are you at with all of this? What have your takeaways been, like aha moments? If you're behind, say I'm behind, but this is what I'm excited about doing. But really make this. If you were the one teaching this class, would you read your book? Amen. Yes, you would, right? So I want you to go and just pretend you're reading it. I have loved it. I'm getting it dog-eared here. And it's really great. And you can, depending on how you read, you can scan through it. But take time every day and read it, whether it's in the morning or it's at night. Schedule time. Instead of turning on the TV, read your book and start taking action with that so you can create wealth for yourself, your family, your business, and your future. Have an amazing, incredible day. Here's a quote for you. Do you want to work for your money, or do you want your money to work for you? And everybody said, I want my money to work for me. That's what we're doing. Work smart and not hard. Make it a great day, everyone. And send me those emails. I can't wait to be on the beach or at the pool and read them in the next few days. Have an amazing rest of your day, your evening, whenever you're watching this, and make it blessed and be kind to everyone. Bye, everyone.